Live. So why don't we start out with everybody's update, and then we'll go after anything on the parking lot, anything issues that come up. So, Tongwei, do you want to go first?
Okay. So, okay. Okay. So right now I've just finished. Can you hear me?
You're
Yep,
breaking up.
can hear you.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Right now I've just finished the pull request. Then I'm going to work on the job seeker cannot apply the job for the second time. For sorry,
You're breaking
it's
up a bit, Tongwei.
it's a bit lagging right now.
Yeah, you might want to if you shut your video off, that sometimes boosts the audio
Oh,
signal.
okay.
So you might just, yeah, shut down the video.
Okay.
And if Tongwei, if you have trouble shutting down the video, Patrick, you should have a control room panel that will allow you to shut down her video. Anyway,
Right.
there you go.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's already off, right?
That's better. Yep, you got it.
Okay. So right now I'm going to do for limit the job application by a similar job seeker. That means one job seeker can only apply for a job once. Yeah, the story. I cannot remember what is the number of the story. I'm checking. Uh, Job seeker applying for the same job more than once. Yeah,
Yep. Okay.
3,399. Yep, I haven't started yet, so I just put my name up and most likely going to start very soon.
Okay, great. And your prior PR, you saw my comments. Oh, that's right. You already made changes, and I thought your changes were great. You actually extended your tests as appropriate, consistent with recommended changes. So
Mhm.
great work. Thank you.
Yeah, actually, when look at it, I was like, wow, there are so many comments. Am I going to take quite long to finish? Okay.
No,
Thank-
not that many comments. Some of it just had to do with, wording, things like that. So
yeah,
there's
but
only one
thanks.
or two substantive things. Yep, great.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Um, Sanjay, you want to go next? Sanjay, you're muted right now. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yes, hi.
yeah, Patrick. So I was looking into that issue. I was able to actually, yeah, as you have put up in the Slack, I was also able to do the double Ajax request. But then clicking on the pagination link, it breaks.
Yes, I saw that.
Yes. So I was trying to figure out how to fix that. I now know what the problem is, and there are some solutions, in the net in Stack Overflow. I think one of them may work for it. I'm yet to try them out. I have just been now able to figure out what is happening.
Okay. Um, did you try the code that I sent you in Slack for a different way of
No,
doing it?
actually, I haven't got a chance to try that.
Okay.
Yeah, because you said it reloads the whole page, right? I thought if this works out, it'll be straightforward.
Actually, I'm doing it. I try to do it in a way that doesn't require reload of the whole page, which I think is appropriate because nothing's changing on the page except possibly the pagination section. I can show you that after the updates are done. So you can
Okay,
maybe use
because
that as an idea too.
your status, I thought you mentioned you'll be reloading the page, right? I thought it is the continuation of that. No, I think I
No,
misread it.
no, yeah. I think I
Oh,
must have miscommunicated that. So it's tough to do that through Slack, just through these
yes, absolutely.
written messages. Okay, so we can take a quick look at that.
Yeah.
Um, all right, great. So you're continuing on that. No
Yeah.
blockers, it
So
sounds like,
probably
except for, yeah.
I can show you share my screen and show you what is happening.
Okay, let's do that in the parking lot then, um, once we're done with the updates. So for myself, I have looked at people's PRs and made comments appropriately, and I've also prepared for some voting, some stories today. If we get around to it, maybe we don't need it. It sounds like both of you have work in your queue to work on. But anyway, I do have some stories queued up if we want to do some voting. And I think that's pretty much it for me. I need to start looking at the Pundit implementation and figuring out how we're going to actually apply authorization. Now that we're getting to the point where we've got a lot of features, we're approaching MVP in terms of the features we've got available in what we're doing now, plus future stories. So we're getting close, which is exciting. And I think that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Yeah. So why don't I quickly show you what I've got in terms of your story there, Sandhya, if that's okay?
Yeah.
I was
Yes.
just thinking, Patrick, that you might ask me for an update. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Not that
Please.
I have anything very important to say, particularly. I just as Sandhya wasn't in when we were chatting before, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'm planning on doing a UX review for MetPlus tomorrow, and that'll be a video which will make available to you all. And I'm just dropping in to see how it's going and checking with you. Right now, as it happens, I'm working on trying to get a Selenium driver working, but that's just my own little private world thing. But yeah, that's it from me. Great to see you guys, you know, doing the Hangout thing here, and do let me know if there's any way I can help going forward.
Well, I think the UX review is really helpful, as I mentioned before. We've got a bit of a Frankenstein monster with different parts attached, and I know in particular the two people on this call, aside from myself, are pretty skilled in building pretty attractive UIs. I know, Sandy, you've got a good flair for that, and Tongwei does a good job too. And we're very interested to see what comes out of your review.
Excellent.
So
Yeah.
we can
Did
implement something.
you guys watch the previous review video that I made?
I did. The problem that I saw, I think Heroku blew up on you at one point. Plus, I don't think you didn't have much coherent stories to follow, I don't believe. I think it was premature, in my opinion.
Well, it was certainly quite some time ago. Yes. No.
Yeah.
When I say saw the previous one, I mean just in terms of knowing what to expect. I mean, I'll be doing the same sort of approach again this time. But yeah. The app, and that was like 6 months ago or something. So I'm sure that the things have moved a lot since then.
Yeah, I think we threw you into the breach without much of a plan. So this is better now.
Cool. Well, I look forward to doing that tomorrow. And you guys, are you running a stand-up at this time pretty much every day, or is it every other day or something?
It's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes sense.
7
Excellent.
a.m. my
Yeah.
time.
Well, maybe I'll catch up with you on Friday then.
Yeah, that sounds great. Love to see it.
Nice one. All right. I'll drop out there. Have fun, guys. Bye for now.
Okay, thanks,
Great.
Sam. Yep,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye.
Cheers.
Okay, so let me get rid of all of this stuff. Let's see, where am I? I should have set this up beforehand. I didn't think we were going to be doing. Let's see, where am I? I am at 374. Double Ajax, that's right. Okay, do I have... Yeah, okay, so let's restart the app. I'm not sure. Don't remember if I have to do or not, but let's just try it without doing that. Okay. So hopefully this works.
Okay.
Okay. Oops. Well, of course. Branch I was on doing what, so obviously do that again. So while that's happening, let's look at the code.
Yeah.
So I was actually playing with trying to do it without JavaScript, so that's what a lot of this stuff here is. Let's see, so we are looking at Job Applications JS, and we want to look at the controller.
Yeah.
Yep, so what I ended up doing, so that we still have the JavaScript mechanism coming in when the reject button is clicked, we still go to the reject application function. Excuse me. And in this case, I am calling the job applications controller action, which we'll look at in a minute. But when that returns success to me, by the way, it's returning now a JSON structure, which you'll see in a second. And the JSON structure has two items, two properties. One is the status, which is 200 or some kind of error status, 200 being good, right? And if the status is good, then all I do is I just put up a message here, which says basically that everything's fine, you just rejected an application. Or if something's wrong, I just put up there's an error message. So that's basically all that this is. And then on success, the only thing I do that's a little bit different is I force a reload of the current pagination link. What this is doing, so if we're on pagination link number 2, let's say the second page in the list in the table there, this here triggers a click as if the user did it to reload that page number 2 for the pagination div. And with that in place, it worked fine. The applications controller here, you can see what I'm doing is if I've got a problem, I build a JSON structure with a message can't reject, and then I return error status. Or if it's success, I return the message that you've been using, Sonia, which is job application rejected, status 200. Status of 200 being good. And that's basically it. So there's no rendering going on here in the controller. All the rendering. And what we're doing here is we're just updating the only place that a visual change might have occurred on the page, which is the current pagination page. So let me see if I can show that real quick.
So what does that function do actually? It reloads the pagination, one of the pages, right?
This reloads one of the pages. So as you know, the div is pagination div.
Yes.
The pagination links, the 1, 2, 3, 4, those little boxes with numbers in them,
Correct.
those are actually list items.
Okay.
And the one that is currently shown is of class active. That's the way will paginate works.
Yes.
And so within that list item that's active, class active, there is an anchor element. That's what this A is. So find that anchor element, that link in effect, and click it. That forces it go back to the server, get an updated version of that page in case it's changed, and display that.
Okay.
The display of that, of course, is handled by the pagination system. I don't have to update HTML here because this forces the pagination system to update that page.
Okay.
Let's see, so I am now running. So where did I have my broken thing there? There we go. Let's do this. Oops. Didn't I start the server? Oh, okay. I already had it running. I complained about that. So let's go here. Oh, yes. Okay, thank you. So why am I not screen sharing?
I think you are screen sharing, but in a different window.
Yeah, so you guys can't see my screen here?
Now we are.
Now you're seeing the screen?
Yes.
Okay.
I can see the screen. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can see.
Were you seeing the code as I was walking through it?
Yes, yes.
You were seeing, okay, everything's okay then. Great, perfect. Okay. All right, let's log in as a company person. And I will go to my home page automatically, and I will find, let's say, a job here. So let's go to page 2 here. So I will reject, let's say this one here, this person Colin.
Yeah.
I'm going to reject that, enter a reason, reject, and you can see this is the message that I'm popping up, job application rejected. That is coming.
Can you move out a little bit because it is blocked by the picture.
Yes, yes, gotcha. Okay, so one of the things you can do, you can, I think, let's see, where is the, anyway, sorry. So can you see it now?
Yes.
Let me move up a little bit. Okay. So how's that? So the job application rejected there?
Mm,
Okay, now it is not a flash message, right?
It is not a flash message. The reason is that we're not repainting the screen, we're not reloading the page, so I can't use flash messages. That's one of the things I mentioned in Slack.
Correct. Yes.
So this here is coming, that message is coming from this, just using our little, I'm getting messages from Sam about my broadcast. I'll have to fix that. And then this occurs. So the page itself, the page link down here was updated. So page 2, as you saw, now shows not accepted for that particular application. So this just updated page 2 as part of the processing, in case anything on page 2 changed. And that's all there is to it. So we don't have to reload the screen anymore, reload the page. Let me see Sam's things there. Messages. Okay, so how do I unlock? This is as simple as clicking on me. There we go, that's better. Okay, so that's what's happening, Sonia, and it's, again, because we are not loading the page, which we really don't need to, and probably shouldn't, because nothing else up here is changing. And if I'm working on applications, I may be down here at the bottom part of the page clicking reject, or reviewing applications and rejecting or whatever. I don't want to necessarily have to reload the page and have the page start at the top every single time, so I have to scroll down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. I think that's a great solution, Patrick.
Okay. The only
Yeah.
drawback is, and it's not a drawback really, is that we can't use Flash because we'd have to reload the page. So we use this, click on the message goes away, and
Correct.
it works fine. And I
Yeah.
think it's actually appropriate to use the little notify messages because it pops up where I'm doing the work as opposed to pops up at the top.
Right, you are right.
Yeah. So the only other thing, so if that works for you, that'd be great. I think once I thought it through, this is actually a cleaner way to do it. We don't need to reload. We shouldn't reload this whole page. It's a waste.
Right. You are right.
And I realized what was happening before in your old code, excuse me, was that your old code in the controller was redirecting to basically this.
Yes.
That in turn was returning the page to be reloaded to the JavaScript function. If we had just loaded that page using the return value from the controller in your JavaScript function, it would have been fine. The
Correct.
pagination link would be, but there's really no reason for the controller to return a full page of HTML, which includes everything, not just the body, but everything else, and then have the JavaScript function update the HTML of the page itself, the entire page. It just seems a waste. That doesn't make any sense because we're not changing anything in the page except for this one thing, possibly. So that's basically it. So anyway, I sent you a link to the feature branch that contains that code. I pushed it up to GitHub.
Yeah.
So the other thing I mentioned in the Slack that I want to draw attention to is this. If I'm working down here and I click on any one of these buttons, what happens is the modal dialog appears against the page that has been moved back up to the top of the page. See in the background?
Yes.
So when I do anything, I accept or cancel a button, I'm still at the top of the page. What I want to do is I want to stay down here. I want the modal dialog to appear above where I'm looking at right now, above this page. Don't move the page up. Have the
Oh,
modal dialog appear down here.
okay, okay.
And both dialogues are doing that to me. Let me show you
Yes,
what I mean real quickly. So let's go to, you can see admin, there we are. Let's go to an example. Let's see, so job skill. So I want to add a job skill, right? So I've scrolled down halfway down the page, and I click on Add Job Skill. The modal dialog pops up above the page without moving the page up to the top. See what's
yes,
happening there?
yes.
So when I act on it or I hit cancel, I'm still at the bottom of the page. I don't have to scroll back down again.
You're right.
Could you, do you think it could be good to look into that? Because I think it'd be really good if we could have the user who is working on these jobs. Let's go. And, you know, when I hit reject or decide, gee, I don't want to reject, I want to cancel, I'd still like to be down here. This is where I was working. Now here, it isn't that big of a deal because we don't have much stuff above it. So to scroll a little bit is not a big deal. But if we add more information up here regarding the job, which we might, or other things, it may be that I have to scroll down quite a bit to get back to where I was working down here.
Right. It
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah. I
Okay.
think, Patrick, I'll look into it.
Okay, great. Yeah, I didn't
Actually,
get a chance to look at that myself.
but as you rightly said, it was not so clear. The whole flow, I got some idea, but somehow Slack messages don't convey the whole thing very well.
Yeah, that's the problem. But
Yeah, so
you were actually on the right track before. You were getting the entire page sent to your JavaScript function through that
correct.
redirect.
Yes,
And if we had just updated the page in the JavaScript function, it would have worked.
correct.
Even though I think we don't want to, like I said, update the whole page. Let's just update the thing that changed, if it changed at all.
Yes, I'll look
Yeah.
into it, Patrick.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yes.
All right. I tell you what I'd like to do, if you guys are okay with it, if you got a few more minutes, is vote
Yep.
on maybe a story or two.
Okay.
Okay. So let's do that then. Let's go to, let's see, which one is this?
Oh.
So this here is a story having to do with sending a job application. In effect, right now we have a fake job application. Well, it works. It pops up and says, do you want to apply? But nothing's happening. This story here is to, sorry for that interruption. This story is basically to complete the application, which is if somebody wants to apply to a job, either the job seeker or the job developer on behalf of the job seeker, we need to grab the resume from the back end. We need to attach it to an email and send it to the company email address for job delivery, for job application delivery. Excuse me. So I don't know why I start to lose my voice in the morning, but maybe I don't drink enough water. I drink a
Yeah.
lot of coffee, and that's a,
Yeah, you will dry your throat.
yeah, that probably drives me out. So here, you know, this story is basically once that job application is attempted, we need to fetch the resume from the cruncher, and there's some detail here as to how that all happens. We need to attach that resume to an email. The email template has to be built for the delivery of the application. And then we need to send out the email with the attached resume to the company email address set up for that. And there's some other stuff. We got to delay the email going out, you know, all that typical stuff, right? But this is basically the story. Now, just so you know, the reason I'm hesitating a little bit is that Arun's already started on this. In fact, he told me the other day that he's pretty much got everything built, but he didn't have any tests yet, RSpec or Cucumber, so I asked him to complete those before the PR is submitted. So anyway, he's well along. But we never did vote on this, so I'd like to vote on this story.
Oh. Okay.
Okay? And then while we're on I would like to queue up one other story. Let's just vote on two stories today, okay? So we get something in the queue. So the second story I'd like to vote on is this. So This is for a job seeker, and a job seeker, in their homepage, we should show them a list of jobs that match their resume. And let me show you what that looks like. So what I did back in May is I did some mock-ups of some of this functionality, and that's in Waffle Story 350. When you look at the detail behind this story, it refers to number 350, so you don't have to remember that number. But anyway, I mocked up some stories having to do with how we might show matching capability. Matching is job matched against resumes, or resume matching against jobs through back-end functionality. So when I say matching, oops, when I say matching, it's matching against things in the back end, not searching in our local database. Do you guys hear that echo?
Yes, I can hear the echo.
Okay. Seems to have gone away. So part of the home page of the job seeker should be this, and I think it's a placeholder there. There's a section called Job Opportunities Best Matched to Your Resume. And what we'd show them there is when they log in, we would go and talk to the back end and receive back opportunities that best match the job seeker's resume as it then exists. And so this little thing is a mock-up. This wasn't real code. I just created this with static HTML. But the idea is we show them a table. It's a paginated table. We show them the jobs that we think might be a match for them. Some information regarding the job, like when it was posted, the employer, maybe other things here. And then we have this thing called match rating. And I invented this 5-star rating mechanism. So rating from 1 to 5 stars, 1 being basically no match, 5 being a really good match, and 3 being a pretty good match that you ought to look at. Anything below 3 we don't look at. I had a mock-up of this and it was working, but I can't recover that feature branch, unfortunately. I looked around, for some reason I can't get it back and show it to you live. But that's what it looks like. So this would be a table in the job seeker homepage. When the login occurs, we talk to the back end and populate this table with what the back end says are the best matched jobs for the resume. Now, with that said, we currently do not have a 5-star rating system, and Hugh has not been able to get to that yet. And he has a very simple matcher right now. It's just based on matching word frequencies across the 2 documents, job description and resume. So basically, he's going to give me back right now a match that's either yes or no. In fact, I think he'll just give me a list of jobs that there's a yes on the possible match. So let's see, he gives back a list of 3 jobs, 4 jobs, 15, whatever. The match rating is just going to be a binary yes or no. Later on, we're going to have a 5-star rating system when we put a Bayesian classification system in place. That'll give us a relative value of matching. But we don't have that yet. And in the story, I note this. So that's in the story. So we'll just get yes or no. If we get, I think we'll just get yes. We'll get jobs returned that are possible match. So that's all we'll get. In which case, this table will just show the jobs that the cruncher returns. Does that make sense? Am I making sense here?
Yeah.
Okay. So the story here. Yes,
so
sir.
meaning for this story, we need to communicate with the back end, which is the job cruncher.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So as noted in, so this is story 350 we're looking at. It could be confusing looking at my screen here. This is 350. These are the mock-ups that I did. There are other stories associated with the mock-ups. We won't talk about those now. But that's what this is. This is for the job seeker home page view.
Okay.
And as I mentioned here, this job was gated by number 332. So if I look at 332, that's been closed. So basically there's some functionality that Arun built that allows you to cleanly and easily talk to the back end to get a list of jobs that match the job seeker's resume. So you'll see that on the resume cruncher model, you'll see an API available to you to call that. I think you'll pass it a resume ID or a file ID for a resume, and you'll get back a JSON structure with a list of jobs. if any, that match the resume. So that's been built. So that's good to go. So those are the two stories I think it's be worthwhile to vote on today. You guys want to go ahead and do that then?
Okay.
Yes.
All right, great. Let's do that. And let me stop sharing my screen so we can do this cleanly. All right. So this one here is the completion of the job application process. This is the one Arun is working on. This is where he has to fetch the resume from the back end where we store it. He has to create an email through a template that he has to build. He has to attach the resume with the correct file name. The original resume file name is uploaded by the job seeker to that email. He's got to send that off to the company email address. He's got to do that in a delayed fashion, not immediately, so he has to use, delayed job to do that. And he's got to build some tests around that. I think both RSpec as well as acceptance cucumber tests. So that's where he's at. So I'm ready to vote. Are you guys ready to vote?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let's do countdown and then go. So 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, I'm I'm sorry. Yeah, I put that in the wrong place. Let's see, I'll delete that message. We're going to do this. I got confused because I was communicating with Sam and I didn't notice I was in the wrong channel. And we're voting on that, and I've got a 3. Everybody ended up a 3. I had voted on a 3 as well before I saw your votes, just so you know. Good, so I agree with you guys. I think that's a 3.
Mm-hmm.
So now let's do this one here. Voting. This is the one for the job seeker homepage to show a list of hopefully matching jobs to the job seeker. And here we have to invoke that cruncher service that will allow us to get a list of jobs back. We have to show that in the home view homepage of the job seeker. The title shown of each job in that list should go to a view of the job itself, so the job seeker can explore the job more completely. So fairly straightforward, but it's got some work associated with it. All right, is everybody ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Tongwei, do you want to kind of describe your thought on that one?
Because I have no idea what the job cruncher right now. Yeah, the resume cruncher. So most likely, if I'm doing that, I'm going to go through the resume cruncher.
You have to go through it and understand it better and all that?
Yes, most likely I will do that if I'm doing this thing. Yeah.
Got it, okay.
But it's okay doing too. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I think right now I don't believe that the resume cruncher, the cruncher service itself is returning anything to us. I know that Hugh is aware of this, and he's working on it. I think he's got some issues there. And so unfortunately there's nothing real that we could use in our testing. There's also, if you can think of a way to mock out a return of a set of job IDs to help develop and test this thing, that would be great as well. So given all of that, a 3 probably makes sense, now that I'm thinking it through. Because we are going to have to mock out the return from the cruncher service in order to develop and test this at this point. Because right now it can't return anything to us. We've still got some bug there or something. We kind of I was holding off on these stories for a good reason, which is that Hewitt still has to improve some things in the back-end cruncher. He's brought it along quite a ways, but there's still some things missing. One of which is it doesn't really respond in the way we expect. it doesn't match anything, right? It doesn't return anything as matching. That's the problem. So we need to figure out how to get around that as we develop this. So why don't we go with the 3 on that? I'll go with the
Okay.
3. Sanjay, you okay with that?
Yes, I'm okay.
Okay, good. And the other one we saw was the 3 as well. All right, with that, I think we're good. We've got enough stories built now for everybody, I think.
Yes.
Sanjay, I don't know if you want to go with the approach that we looked at for your story. I think it might be a quick way to get that one done. I know
Yeah.
you still got cucumber tests and things like that, but you've also got
Yes.
your other story that you've got in progress also, or that you've got a PR, which is the local time zone thing.
Yeah, definitely there'll be some progress and I can continue on that. I think
Okay.
I'll go ahead with it.
Okay. If there's any I put some comments in there. If there's any question about those, just ping me. Maybe we can connect up in between meetings quickly. But
Yeah.
I tried to be clear in that what my comments were. Hopefully I got it right, but who knows? Okay, perfect. All right then. I think that's it. Thank you for the patience in walking through those stories and voting on them.
Yeah. Patrick,
Um,
one thing.
yeah.
I'm out of station tomorrow and day after. So I'm hoping I'll be back on time for the Friday's call.
Okay.
Just in case I'm late, I'll not be able to join the call.
Okay. No
And
problem.
same actually on Monday. Monday we have a festival here.
Ah, sounds like
Yeah.
fun.
Even on that day, I'm really not sure if I can join. I'll try my best though on both the
I see.
days.
I see. Okay.
I'll anyway have to go on Slack regarding my progress.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for letting me know.
Sure.
And have a good time at the festival. Sounds like fun.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, well, that's it from me too. Tongwei, anything else from you?
No.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Well, thanks, everybody. Have a good evening, and we will talk on Friday or Monday or Wednesday, depending upon the situation.
Okay.
Okay. Take care.
Okay. See you.
Bye now.
Bye.